you haven't mentioned my favorite one yet. So tell me, you have more than just the kindergarten line one, right?
Yes, so I have 13 different patterns. So of the standard handwriting lines, we also have a 1/2 inch line. This one's good for maybe first, second grade. We have a pre-K, which is a 1 inch line. I don't know if you can see the pattern, but let me draw this out for you. It is for a beginning writer. And when your writer is beginning out, you want to have a space for each letter. So it has what we call a broken baseline, and then your student can kind of learn how to space their letters. So this particular LegiLiner is good for helping a student that crowds their letters, or to help that visual perception of spacing apart the letters.
Because visual perceptual skills is one of the other issues, or problem areas that we have been talking about throughout this group. So that's an excellent one for some of our families here.
Yeah, so we also have what we call a double stack, which is a double line of 1/2 inch. So if you're doing a longer piece of paper and you just want to do a bunch of lines on top of it, it helps to make them parallel. So a lot of people were saying, I can't get my lines straight. So with practice, it gets easier to make the lines straight. And we always tell people, look at the end of the paper where you want your line to end up. And then you kind of push with your thumb and let your elbow come away from your side. And that way you're not curling it off to the side. So with practice, it gets easier to draw them straighter, but we did add a 1/2 inch for those longer sentences and paragraphs that we like to do with the older kids. And then we have one for cursive. So this is called dotted thirds. And it helps to give some different boundaries for when you're doing the cursive writing. Some people use the handwriting without tears. And so we have 2 of the handwriting without tears, the double 3/8 inch line, and then the double 1/4 inch line. As the student gets progressed into older grades, and even special needs students in high school, I would keep this one in my pocket. They're really small, about the size of a highlighter, and this one has the little dashed line. So these 2 are the same width, but as your student gets older and doesn't want the dashed line in the middle, then the double line, this is like a wide rule that's good for students just to have a straight line on something, and they don't want the dashes in between. So those are primarily the ones we use for handwriting, but as you mentioned, one of your favorites, we have a music staff. So that's the 5-line music staff. When you're working on music education, you want to write down a couple notes, or maybe you want to modify something that you're working on to make it easier for the student, or to even just where the notes go. So we have this, that one called the music staff.
That one to our music teachers for Christmas, and they all love it. And
awesome.
Also for families who do classical conversations, there's we do 6 weeks on music theory within that. And so the tutors have all used that music staff as well when we're teaching like how to draw the treble clef and what is a half note and a whole note. And it was so helpful for them.
That's awesome. Yeah, so we have a couple that we also now have expanded into math. And this one is called LegiBoxes. And it draws out 3/4 inch boxes like this, really quick across the page. And some people are using that for 10-frame math. You can also use it for uppercase letters. So if you were writing my name, if you do the handwriting without tears, they have the little smile face in the boxes where you can write 1 letter per box. What's nice about the double is that then the student can direct copy below it. So as we're progressing through handwriting, we might do tracing, and then we might do like a direct copy, and then we do individual on your own. So that one's called the double stack boxes. And then we have one that came up with squares. So this little one has a square pattern. Okay. And you can do it either horizontally or you can do it vertically. So if I do 3 of these, you might recognize like a ones, tens, and hundreds columns.
Yes, right. That's great.
Also with the larger one, you can line up, say math, if you were doing 15 plus 5. So you can practice
Neat.
your vertical numbers as
Right.
well.
Right. And for those who use Math UC or our Singapore math, both of those are based a lot on 10 frame. And so that would be fantastic to use for those earlier years. Ooh,
and then one more I want to show you real quick is this is the number line. And so when we're working in math on number lines and you want to quickly draw a number line to kind of re-explain the problem, like maybe you have your problems up here and the student got it wrong and you want them to do it again. So we can just quickly draw a number line. Also using it for plotting. And you can also use it for handwriting. If you wanted to separate out your letters, you've got an older student that just needs to space their letters a little bit more. So the number line is quickly becoming about our number 3 popular stamp, just because it's so quick to have evenly spaced.
Really versatile, right?
Yes, yeah.